Hey guys, it's Jason WindMaster here, bringing you another discussion. Everyone's been talking about the recent news about SEGA and Sonic the Hedgehog, mostly regarding how Sonic Boom didn't really sell well. In fact, it was the worst selling Sonic game to date. And SEGA's been having some bad financial stuff going on. Now, a lot of people, they've been thinking about this whole thing, and they say, well, why doesn't SEGA give Sonic to the likes of Nintendo or anyone that will make Sonic games, well, better Sonic games than SEGA has ever been doing? Or why doesn't Nintendo buy SEGA, or just a lot of those things? And I'd like to get my opinions and stuff about it. Now, many people have been saying that Sonic hasn't been great since the original trilogy, and that's actually a little immature to think about, because they just don't see that Sonic has made some very good games, and while some of them aren't that great, some of them are still fun. I still have a fun time playing Sonic and the Secret Rings. It's still, to me, it's one of my favorite in the series. Though I can see why many people would not like that game at all. Sonic 2006 wasn't so great. Sonic Unleashed, it was a fun game. It really was. Just a lot of people didn't like the werehog parts about it, which I still find very confusing, but that's a topic for another day. Colors is definitely the best as so far. Generations is still very, it looks like a very fun game. I've never played Generations, and I don't really have the money to buy any of the versions. Well, the only versions I can buy are 3DS and PC, though I don't really care to buy at the moment. Lost World, a lot of people have been giving that game a lot of bash, and while the run button, I will agree, isn't necessary, the rest of the game, it's still fun. I still don't see why people just bash on that game. Because, yeah, it's a very fun game, despite its little gimmicks. And, of course, Sonic Boom, I'm not gonna say it's the worst Sonic game out there. It's still better than the likes of Sonic 06, Shadow the Hedgehog, and I don't want to say this, but even Sonic and the Secret Rings to a certain extent. And I just find that ridiculous how people will honestly think that Sonic Boom is the worst Sonic game out there, and it doesn't. And SEGA has been doing terrible because of that. That's just not it. I mean, sure, Sonic Boom, it wasn't a great game, but there are certainly other games that were way worse. And it's still a fun game to an extent. It's not a Sonic game, I'll tell you that. Even though the Sonic name and the Sonic look has just been plastered onto it. But again, it's not one of the worst. Now that we got that discussion out of the way, hey, their finances, SEGA's financial problem has been going towards the likes of Lost World, the recent Mario and Sonic game, Sonic Boom especially. Those games have been pretty much going downhill in terms of sales, and that's not a good thing. Companies really don't like it when a game doesn't sell as great as they hoped, which is obvious to say, but it's still a very still a bad thing to happen to a company. Many companies have actually been bankrupt because of it, especially the great ones like THQ and Hudson Soft and a few others that I can't really name off the top of my head. But it looks like SEGA is kind of getting into that. They're really getting to the point where they are going to lose a ton of money, and they're probably going to get bankrupt. And I really don't want that, because Sega's one of my favorite game developers / publishers, whatever you want to call them. And I really love a lot of Sega's games, even though they made a lot of terrible ones in the past few years. They are still trying, and they still make great games despite what everyone else thinks. Now, lately they said that the mobile games and I think the PC games as well, they are actually proving to be a lot more successful than the console games. Now, that doesn't mean they're going away from the consoles. They're just focusing on such. Sonic Dash and Sonic Jump were very, very good games in terms of sales, and that's a good thing. That is a very good thing. And they now have a new Sonic game coming out, Sonic Riders. I think they said that it was out about a week ago, but that's and it's been selling quite well. Well, as far as I heard. No, I'm thinking of another game. Oh boy, but yeah. The thing with Sonic in general, I hate to say it, they haven't been making a lot of great Sonic games as of late. Though there are some games that I like, I see why they are probably some of the worst in the series. Now, do you think Runners is going to be that great? Do I think it's going to be that great? No. Well, yes and no. Yes, it is going to be a fun game. No, it's not going to help them with their financial problems, which mobile games don't really sell quite well. Well, mobile in terms of iPhones and Kindles and all that. Pretty much in that certain area of gaming where things don't go that great. And they're gonna learn that it's not gonna help them. Sonic Riders is not going to help them. Oh, which is another thing I want to talk about. Sega and Game Freak, the people who made the Pokemon games and a few other good games, those two of all companies, they are actually making they are collaborating with a new project of some sorts. Now, they haven't said anything yet, but it is going to be revealed on the 11th? I want to say the 11th. But yeah, that's going to be something to... That's going to be something to see. Is it going to be a good thing? We'll have to see. Hey, I'm saying. Okay. Let's get back to this. I don't know if that certain project's gonna help them. I heard the TV shows was helping them. This certain project might help. Sonic Runners might help a tiny bit, but not a whole lot. Now, what do I think they should do? There are two things that I really think they should really consider. One is they really need to calm down with the Sonic franchise. Now, a lot of the Sonic fans will definitely disagree with me when I say Sonic really needs to take a break. He really needs to. They have been milking Sonic the Hedgehog for who knows how long, and they have been neglecting a lot of their franchises because of that. The only game that I can name up the top of my head that SEGA has made in the past couple of years that wasn't Sonic related was Alien Isolation. Now, I think in 2011, 2012, they made Super Monkey Ball 3D. But that was about 3 or 4 years ago. So yeah, and I don't even think that sold well either. Which is a real shame because I really like Super Monkey Ball. Super Monkey Ball is very fun. And I'd like to see other franchises like Knights or Jet Set Radio. A lot of those other franchises come back. Just come back from the dead and see what... or make some new IPs like Nintendo's doing with Splatoon and codename Steam. Which I think would be fantastic if SEGA did just that. But I highly doubt they would do something on the lines of that. But yeah, those are the only things I really think. Those are the two things I think they should do. Give Sonic a break and give the other franchises a go. Any ideas you have that is not Sonic related, put them on the drawing board and see what happens. You'd be surprised. I highly doubt they're watching this, but if anyone that's associated with SEGA at all is watching this, I would like them to point out, you'd be surprised how many people are waiting for a Super Monkey Ball, a new Jet Set Radio, Space Channel 5, Golden Axe, Ristar, Knights, Choo Choo Rocket. I know one person that would really like a new Choo Choo Rocket, which I don't really see. I guess something along the lines of that, maybe a platformer, or about that. I have no idea. Just keep in mind that for me, the reason why Sonic hasn't been selling too well is that they have been making a little too many Sonic games as of late, which is not a good thing. Now, Mario can kind of get away with it because you have not only do you have the actual platformers, you have Paper Mario, Mario and Luigi. Got Luigi's Mansion. I highly doubt they're gonna make a new game anytime soon. Yoshi's Island, Donkey Kong Country. Even though there are a lot of Mario games, they have the Mario franchise has a lot of different formulas, and with Sonic, you only have like one, and that's not something you really want on a play over and over again. Sure, you have a lot of other gimmicks, but the formula is still the same, which is not really a good thing. The original old formula of having speed, but a lot of platforming elements, good music, those are what a good Sonic game would be. And they just haven't been doing that because they've been focusing on just not really a lot. I can't say much. I think they should probably find a new formula for the Sonic series if they are going to keep doing that. If not, give Sonic the Hedgehog a break. Try not to make a lot of new games and focus on other franchises. I think that's what they should do. That's what they should focus on for the time being until they get back on their feet. So, yeah. What do you guys think they should do? Do you think they should give Sonic a break? Do you think they should focus on other franchises? Do you think they should do something new with Sonic? Probably do something similar to what they did in Sonic Chronicles or Sonic Heroes. Do something completely new that we've never seen, but would still be very fun. I would really like that. So yeah, leave your ideas, guys. I really want to hear them. And we'll see what happens in the next few weeks, months, or even a couple of years from now. So yeah, this is Jason Windmaster. I will see you guys in the next video.